What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the boxing clinic afternoon grind. Ain't too much popping in the sport of boxing today. I think they had the undercard press conference for Mayweather McGregor, the undercard. But I'm talking about who the face of ducking in boxing. The face of duck, duck, goose of boxing right now, man. You got a few candidates here. Let me know who y'all think is, but we're going to get into it. You could have put Lomachenko in there. But we got to see if he fights Ricky Diallo or not. It sounds good, but we got to see, if he going to step in the ring with Ricky Diallo and to most get a victory over him. I think, 80, 90% of people I run into believe Lomachenko's going to dog Ricky Diallo. And if he does, you got to give him his credit. I don't care if it's, Ricky Diallo moving up 8 pounds. It's a fight that everybody wants to see. So it is what it is. But, the five faces I come up with when you talk about ducking. One, let's start off with Leo Santa Cruz, Whole Cruz. One of the biggest bitches in the sport. And I put him on there before Carl Frampton for the simple fact he beat Frampton. And, all three of them ran from Frampton and ran from Ricky Diallo, in my opinion. Frampton's Quigg and Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz, he's the best out of them. He beat Frampton. Frampton beat Quigg. He's the best, but he moved up. He was scared of Ricky Diallo. We all know that. He's been on record, tiptoeing around Ricky Diallo. And I think, he's somewhat stale to the sport of boxing when it comes to ducking. He's been a king duck for a minute now. And, he's just a ducker. He gives you all these excuses, or Ricky Diallo was boring, my father don't like his style, and all that bitch shit, man. He's just so, he's becoming so irrelevant. He even ducked Mara's rematch somehow. He wanted to take a tune-up fight so he can get the lion's share of the money. He's just one of the, he's everything that's wrong with the sport of boxing, this Leo Santa Cruz. He wasted plenty fight time, plenty TV time on Canelo's undercard, on Floyd undercard, a couple of his undercards, fighting part-time construction workers, and making a career out of it. But it is what it is. You already know, some people just still believes he's something, but he ain't shit but a duck. Go down to Stevenson. We know he been, holding up undisputed champion in light heavyweight division right now. It could be Andre Ward. I think he holds the WBA, the IBF, and the WBC. I mean, not the WBA, the IBF. I think he holds both of those, and I think he's trying to add the WBC title to the equation. I think he holds the WBO as well, and for whatever reason is, Adonis Stevenson in public says, "Oh, I want Andre Ward. I want Andre Ward." But he ducked him, and he got the reputation to be a duck by running over to Showtime. When he was in negotiations to fight Sergey Kovalev. So and it doesn't help Adonis Stevenson as well that, his competition is C level or, very, very, low B level competition, mid level guys. He fights bum at the bum and looks impressive doing it. And he does what he's supposed to do in there, but his resume has no pizzazz. He says he wants to fight Kovalev, gets in the ring, says he wants to fight Ward after the Final Four fight. He says a lot of things, but at the end of the day, nothing's getting done. And he has one of the most powerful guys, the most powerful guy in boxing, Al Heyman, that can make shit happen. But at the end of the day, shit doesn't happen. Not even as far as with Kovalev and Andre Ward. I don't think it's going to happen with Arthur Betterby, but unless, Al Heyman forces it. He's getting back in the ring. He settled his debts with his promoter now. I don't know who's going to even get the shot. He even ducked, John Pascal at a late age, with the simple fact that him and Pascal could have probably both made like, $6 million a piece or somewhere in there, $4 to $6 million a piece fighting each other right before, Pascal really took his down for the worst. It could have been a pay-per-view fight over in Canada probably, but, he ducked out of that as well. Talking about, Erislandy Lara. Recently, he talks all this shit over the years. He cried for the Canelo fight, cried for Triple G fight, got the Canelo fight. He hasn't did shit since. He's cried for Triple G. But at the end of the day, he's running from Demetrius Andrade. They're both trying to duck each other, in my opinion. I kind of tend to want to believe Andrade now for the simple fact that Lara is now going to fight Terrell Goucher, and then he said he might look at, Demetrius Andrade. And we thought, Erislandy Lara, one of the biggest and the baddest fights in the sport of boxing. And he ain't big and bad, man. He's turned out to be a super ducker as well. Just that he can hide behind the super fact that, his manager speak for him and he ain't got to speak no English. And he can't speak English, I don't believe, but they said he can, but he doesn't. So, that's crazy. He made it seem like Andrade didn't want to fight. Andrade made it seem like Lara didn't want to fight. Lara had the WBA title. He was more active, so it made people believe that Lara was telling the truth about Andrade, and it didn't help Andrade that he ain't trying to fight nobody, that he pulled out the Jermell Charlo fight, that he pulling up on Jamal Charlo, but ain't fighting nobody else. They both are duckers, but I have to believe after hearing originally Lara manager yesterday say that they gonna fight Goucher, and they may be thinking about Andrade Charlo somewhere hard down the line. Like, why don't you just move the fuck up out the division, dude? You ain't trying to fight the best. He really wants to fight Hurd. If Hurd was available, he'd make the Hurd fight. If Andrade is available now, they're not trying to make that fight. He don't want to fight Andrade for whatever reason it is. They claim that he's one of the most dug guys in the sport of boxing. He's one of the most fraudulent guys in the sport of boxing, in my opinion. He's not trying to fight nobody, man. He said, if Andrade was more active and had this, he's your mandatory. He's the regular WBA champion. When you was the regular WBA champion, you was voicing your opinion about how bad you want Floyd, and he was a super WBA champion. Now the roles are reversed. Oh, you don't want to give Andrade a chance, but you want Floyd to give you a chance? Get the fuck out of here. He got Danny Garcia. What can I say, man? Earl Spence called him out 2 or 3 months ago. Called him out before this and after this and during the Kovalev Award rematch. And Danny Garcia, cherry pick Garcia, still ain't responded to Earl Spence, responded to Sean Porter, but I still haven't seen him and Sean Porter come to agree to terms. I'm not even sure they negotiated. Last time I checked, Kenny said they wasn't even in negotiations for this fight. So, what can I say? What can you say? Danny Garcia, man. If he doesn't take that Sean Porter fight, he's instantly damn near number one. And there's a lot of ducks on here, man. This is the flock of ducks. Duck flock. Quack, 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 quack. But, we know how Danny get down, man. Ever since that Lucas Matisse fight and that Mauricio Herrera fight, he been on eggshells in his whole career, man. And now him and his father's trying to push his new clothing line. I see on Instagram and social media a lot. And they can do that. They really can. But at the end of the day, I told you guys, he don't want to be a boxer no more. He wants to be an entrepreneur, and that's better than being what Adrian Broner is, just trying to be a showman and a con man to his fans, and his shit is up. At least Danny got a plan, but he's definitely a duck. Well, there's no bigger duck to me than Anthony Joshua. A lot of fans get their panties in a bunch, get their Fruit of the Looms in a bunch when I talk about this punk bitch, Anthony Joshua. Joshua is just, he got 2 jobs to do in the heavyweight division, 2 fights. Beat Wilder and beat Ortiz. Ortiz looked bad his last 2 times out, and he's a one-handed fighter and just had a hand injury, so he's been on an extended point in time. And Deontay Wilder's probably the most vulnerable champion in the world. And, he's scared to fight both of them. He fight both of those guys. He got an argument for being a top 5, top 3 pound-for-pound fighter. And all that shit that the fans have been saying is solid. It's validated. He's one of the best in boxing, just beating 2 vulnerable fighters. And he's scared to take on a challenge. They following this blueprint of taking your time. Taking your time. You've been taking your time the whole career. You fought a 41-year-old Vladimir Klitschko, and you fought Charles Martin, who ain't never did shit in his career. So to me, I'm not going to get too far into Anthony Joshua. He a bitch if I had to rank them with Anthony Joshua, Leo Santa Cruz, Adonis Stevenson, Danny Duck Garcia, and Erislandy Lara, king of the ducks. But your face of ducks.